What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report for Wednesday, April 29, 2015, delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com and search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Police fired tear gas at crowds of protesters and reporters in Baltimore as the 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time curfew passed Tuesday night. CNN's Don Lemon said hundreds of protesters had defied the curfew 43 minutes after the deadline, describing the city as, quote, just shy of a lockdown. Baltimore Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake announced Monday that a week-long curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. beginning Tuesday would be enforced to curtail the violence that erupted following the funeral of Freddie Gray, a young black man who died on April 19th after suffering spinal injuries while in police custody. Police urged crowds and media to retreat as people threw bottles, prompting the authorities to respond with tear gas and rubber batons. CNN reporter Chris Cuomo said, "There are no real bullets hitting anybody. This is not an ideal night in Baltimore, but it could be a lot worse in terms of violence." No stranger to being on the front lines, Anderson Cooper continued CNN's coverage from Baltimore at the 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time hour with 360. MSNBC also had reporters live at the scene during The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell as police advanced on what they call, quote, a group of criminals who had started a fire outside a public library branch at Pennsylvania and North Avenues. Fox News aired a 2-hour special edition of Hannity dedicated to the uprising, including interviews with Gray's family attorney, William Billy Murphy, who said the 25-year-old's cries for help were ignored when in police custody, where he later died. He told Sean Hannity running from the police is not a crime. There's no felony on running while black. Geraldo Rivera almost came to blows with one protester because he was ruining his shot. "Stop blocking my camera," he said in a heat of frustration. NBC D.C. reporter Shamari Stone was in the midst of the action and tweeted videos of the line on police in riot gear moving the crowds back. Shamari Stone tweeted, "Cops move crowd back, 10 p.m. curfew is in effect." Along with the curfew, Governor Larry Hogan called in the National Guard on Monday and declared a state of emergency. Meanwhile, the Baltimore Orioles announced that they would play Wednesday's Major League Baseball game against the Chicago White Sox in the eerie silence of a closed Oriole Park, but that Thursday's doubleheader would be open to the public. Gray, who was 25, was picked up by police on Sunday, April 12th. The Baltimore Police Department has not officially disclosed why he was taken into custody, though it said he fled after officers made eye contact with him. Footage recorded by bystanders appeared to show Gray shouting in pain as he was apprehended. He slipped into a coma on April 16th and died 3 days later. His arrest and death sparked protests and accusations of police brutality. Brooke Anderson is leaving the Entertainment Tonight, multiple insiders told The Wrap. Anderson, who served as weekend anchor and correspondent for the syndicated entertainment news magazine, informed staffers in the memo Tuesday of her plans to exit the show. Anderson first joined CBS's syndicated sister show, The Insider, as co-host 4 years ago before moving to ET as a correspondent. She told the staff on Tuesday that she would be relocating to the East Coast after her husband got a new job. A spokesperson for ET confirmed to The Wrap that Anderson, quote, will continue working and reporting for the show in a freelance capacity starting over the summer. Brad Besley, executive producer of ET and The Insider, said in a statement, "Brooke is a brilliant talent in addition to being a committed wife and loving mother. And while we will miss her tremendously as a permanent member of our team, we respect her for her priorities, families first." Los Angeles-based Anderson was previously an entertainment anchor and producer for CNN and served as co-host of Showbiz Tonight on Headline News. Her announcement comes on the heels of a daytime Emmy win for the show in the entertainment news category, as well as a series of other changes and additions at ET. Most recently, popular soap opera veteran Cameron Matheson joined the program as a full-time correspondent and weekend co-anchor earlier this month. Late last year, fellow correspondent Rosie Diaz and co-host Rob Marciano departed the series. Marciano, who joined ABC News, was replaced by The Insider's vet Kevin Frazier in August. Meanwhile, former CNN entertainment reporter Nichelle Turner joined ET as a correspondent in September. Robert Downey Jr. had plenty of creative insults to describe the British reporter on whom he walked out of an interview last week when asked about his past instead of Avengers Age of Ultron. The actor who plays Tony Stark / Iron Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe called Channel 4 reporter Krishnan Guru Murthy a clown, a syphilitic parasite, and a bottom-feeding mudracker when asked about the awkward interview during a Howard Stern show interview Tuesday. Downey told Stern, "I just wish I had left sooner. First of all, I don't even know the guy's name, but I know he pulled the same garbage on Tarantino." And Tarantino stayed in his chair and lit him up for 5 minutes. Guru Murthy pressed Tarantino to defend his position that there is no link between movie violence and real-life violence during a press junket for Django Unchained. While speaking to Downey, the reporter asked about the actor's past alcohol and drug problems. Downey said before walking off camera, "It's just getting a little Diane Sawyer in here." Downey continued to explain to Stern, "I'm one of the guys who's always assuming the social kind of decorum is in play and that we're promoting a superhero movie. A lot of kids are going to see it, and this has nothing to do with your creepy, dark agenda. I just realized, too, that I am a 50-year-old guy. I use fancy words on the Howard Stern show, and yet I'm completely uninvolved when it comes to down to simple boundaries, like, you know what, you're wearing me out. You are a bottom-feeding mudcracker." Downey complained that the media believes there is an assumption that celebrities and other public figures agree to both be scrutinized like a politician when they sit down for an interview. The actor concluded, "What I have to do in the future is just give myself permission to say this is more likely than a sympathetic parasite, and I need to distance myself from this clown. Otherwise, I'm probably going to put my hands on somebody, and then there's a real story." Hulu has struck the biggest deal in the online video site's history for reruns of Seinfeld. While terms of the negotiation have not been revealed, the per-episode value of the show is an approximately $700,000 according to the Wall Street Journal, and the acquisition is expected to be announced at a presentation in New York on Thursday. Other bidders for the streaming rights to the hit 1990s NBC sitcom included Amazon.com Inc. and Yahoo. Netflix was originally interested but instead struck a deal for the streaming rights to Friends. Hulu is co-owned by Walt Disney Company, 21st Century Fox Inc., and Comcast Corp. Sony Pictures Television has the streaming rights to the comedy About Nothing. However, according to the Wall Street Journal, the majority of the revenue from the deal will go to Time Warner Incorporation's Warner Brothers, which acquires Seinfeld producer Castle Rock Entertainment as part of its purchase of Turner Broadcast System in 1996. CMT announced the premiere date for the new season of Party Down South 2 on Wednesday. After surviving the first season of Reverie, the cast of Party Down South 2 are back to take over St. Petersburg, Florida, and welcome new roommate Kelsley into the mix. Party Down South 2 is one of the most popular original series in CMT's history. The first season averaged 3.2 million weekly viewers and garnered substantial buzz across social platforms by reaching nearly 5 million fans each week. CMT is also setting sail with Poo-Tang Payday, the first ever game show on a boat. Throughout the half-hour series, unsuspected lakegoers are plucked from their party boats to suddenly find themselves competing on a floating game show hosted by comedian Frank Nicterio. If they can answer a few questions correctly, they will win quick cash to keep their party afloat. But get the questions wrong, and they're tossed overboard with their only pride. Party Down South 2 premieres May 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Poo-Tang Payday will premiere immediately after the 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with 2 new episodes. Following Monday's shocking elimination of Dancing with the Stars fan favorite of Willow Shields, viewers could rest easy on Tuesday knowing that no one would be sent home during the 10th anniversary special. Instead, the ABC dance competition celebrated contestants from past and present, boasting the biggest opening number in the show's history with almost 50 cast members, including Amber Riley, Michelle Rycroft, Kurt Warner, Little Kim, Donald Driver, Amy Purdy, and Maria Menounos. With so many former athletes as alums on the show, it was only fitting that one of the highlights of the hour-long special was a football-inspired pass double set to the icon NFL theme song featuring Driver, Hines Ward, Warner, Jacoby Jones, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, and Jerry Rice. Former Pro Football Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith said, "It has transformed so many different things," when he told Erin Andrews of his life after winning the third season. "Everywhere I go, men and women, boys and girls, they all know me from Dancing with the Stars." Even season 1 winner actress Kelly Monaco was back for a steamy performance with pro dancer Val Chemerinsky, who's been heating up the floor with Rumor Willis lately. Patti LaBelle, who was recently voted off the show, came back to sing her classic hit Lady Marmalade with Glee's Amber Riley and Little Kim. Unfortunately, Derek Hugh had to skip an energetic routine with Mark Ballas and former partners Olympian Christy Yagamuchi, Amber Riley, Purdy, and Melanos after injuring himself during rehearsal. The anniversary special ended with a bang as all the past contestants, pros, judges, and hosts filled the floor for one big dance party. Dancing with the Stars airs Mondays at 8 p.m. on ABC. Suzanne Krug, who played the younger daughter Tracy Partridge on the 70s sitcom The Partridge Family, died Monday. She was 52 years old. According to TMZ, Krug died suddenly in her Nevada home. A cause of death is not yet known. The Partridge Family, which aired on ABC from 1970 to 1974, followed a family led by a widowed mother that embarked on a music career. Shirley Jones, David Cassidy, Susan Dey, and Danny Bottaducci also starred on the series. Krug left acting behind decades ago, with her last credit on IMDb being the 1980 television movie Children of Divorce. Her other acting credits include Mulligan Stew during a 2010 appearance with her former Partridge Family co-stars on NBC's Today. Krug stated that she was a manager at an Office Max in Arizona. Krug had a husband and 2 daughters. She was 52 years old. Jack Eli, singer of the 1963 classic Louie Louie by the Kingsmen, has died at his home in Redmond, Oregon, yesterday. He was 71. His son, Sean Eli, confirmed the death on Tuesday, according to media reports, but because of his father's religious beliefs, his family is unsure what illness claimed Jack's life. Eli was the lead singer of the Kingsmen, a cover band that in 1963 produced a cheap recording of Richard Bay's 1950s song Louie Louie. That version of the song became a classic, even with its unintelligible lyrics that band members attributed to the low-quality recording. The Kingsmen's version of Louie Louie played prominently in pop culture, appearing in dozens of TV shows and movies, including American Graffiti and Animal House, and its homage episode of The Simpsons. Eli had a fallout with the Kingsmen shortly after Louie Louie was recorded and the group disbanded. Eli was 71. Legendary singer-songwriter Joni Mitchell is not in a coma. Her website reports that the singer is not in a coma and that while Mitchell remains hospitalized, she's alert and she has her full senses. The Post adds that it's a quote, full recovery is expected. The site did say that Mitchell's longtime friend Leslie Morris has filed for conversationship, a fact confirmed by court papers obtained by the Wrap. While Mitchell's website described the singer as alert, Morris's petition for conversancy states that she, quote, remains unconscious and unable to make any responses and is therefore unable to provide for any of her personal needs. Iconic singer Joni Mitchell was found conscious in a hospital nearly a month after being hospitalized, according to media reports. TMZ published a story Tuesday saying Mitchell, known for her hits such as Big Yellow Taxi, was unresponsive and that a longtime friend had filed papers applying for conversationship. Mitchell was rushed to the hospital from her home on March 31st after she was found unconscious. A message posted on the singer's website on April 3rd, just days after her hospitalization, painted a considerably rosier picture. In that message, fans were told that Mitchell continues to, quote, get stronger each day. The message also read, Joni remains under observation in the hospital and is resting comfortably. We are encouraged by her progress and she continues to improve and get stronger each day. As ABC's World News Tonight marked 1 month straight atop NBC's nightly news and total viewers on Tuesday, new claims surfaced that indicated competing views over Brian Williams' future between new NBC News chairman Andy Lack and the network's top brass. The Daily News reported Monday that Lack is looking for a way to put Williams back on the anchor chair. Feeding the Williams problem seems to be more with journalists and media pundits than actual viewers. The report arrives on the heels of dueling New York Times and the Washington Post reports over the weekend saying that there is at least 10 more instances found in NBC News' internal review of Williams' exaggerated stories or not being accurate in reporting. As an insider told The Wrap, many internal opponents of Williams' return are motivated by their concern that the NBC News brand will be hurt if Williams is reinstated. Lack is also not pleased with all the leaks flooding out of NBC. Frank Sesno, director of the George Washington University School of Public Affairs, told The Wrap, "I think what NBC needs is air traffic controls to monitor the traffic balloons because they are colliding over 30 Rock," talking about the various leaks about NBC News, mainly from anti-Williams factions. The Williams decision is obviously a tough one for Lack, and although viewer sentiment is paramount, so is the chatter. He said, "I'm not sure NBC is going to be helped if they bring Brian Williams back, and 90% of the audience wants him, but 10% doesn't, and then 10% plans itself on social media and elsewhere and has an ongoing anti-William campaign that doesn't help the network. Timing is also an issue with the 2016 coverage beginning to brew." Sesno noted the awkward situation that would arise if Williams was tasked with interviewing or covering a candidate who is in the news for exaggerating his or her own record. Another expert suggests that if Lack leaked pro-Williams information himself, he might be positioning himself for an eventual frank discussion with the suspended anchor. Mark Philstein, Maryland professor of journalism, told The Wrap, "It may be that this is also positioning Lack to deliver the bad news to Williams to say, 'Look, I tried to keep you. I'm your buddy from way back, but we just can't keep you.'" A former investigative reporter, Feinstein, says Williams' return would be unprecedented, changing the network's news model from the voice of God approach to a more flawed, humble model. "We've had the voice of God since Cronkite, and Williams has masqueraded as an equally authoritative voice. If he comes back, he can't do that again. I just don't think he can pass the laugh test." Wendell Pierce is set to play Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas in HBO's Confirmation opposite Kerry Washington, who will play Anita Hill, The Wrap has learned. Dope writer, director, and producer Rick Famuyiwa is set to direct the HBO film. Confirmation details the explosive 1991 Clarence Thomas Anita Hill Supreme Court nomination hearings, which brought the country to a standstill and forever changed the way we think about sexual harassment, victims' rights, and modern-day race relations. Production of the HBO Films project is in association with ABC Signature Studios is set to begin in early summer. Executive producers on the movie included Washington, Susanna Grant, and a Groundswell production duo Michael London and Janice Williams. Grant penned the script. Pierce is known for his role on The Wire, Tremmy, and his current role on CBS's current sitcom, The Odd Couple. In what can be best described as an unconventional pitch to make his new movie soar, Isaiah Washington hit up a gay nightclub this past weekend to promote the LGBT drama Blackbird. TMZ posted video Tuesday Washington and Blackbird co-star Gary Leroy Gray partying at West Hollywood's hotspot Rage. Washington, who produced and co-stars in the film, was videotaped drinking, dancing, making new friends, and singing Blackbird's praises. The star's marketing effort apparently paid off. Blackbird opened Friday in 13 theaters, taking in $45,834 for a respectable $3,526 per screen average. In a previous interview, Washington has said he was drawn to the independent drama as soon as he started reading the script. He said, "When I got to page 13, I wanted to be a part of this journey. I wasn't afraid to tell the truth." The former Grey's Anatomy actor also talked politics and blasted Indiana's Religious Freedom Restoration Act, which critics would say would allow businesses to discriminate against LGBT customers based on religious objections. Washington said, "For the religious right to circle the wagon and think that they can do that, it's absurd." Blackbird centers on a deeply religious high school student in a small Mississippi town who struggles with the possibility that he may be gay. It co-stars newcomer Julian Walker as conflicted teen Randy Rousseau and Monique as his mentally ill mother. Friends co-creator Martha Kaufman says that a reboot to the 90s sitcom is never going to happen. She told The Wrap during an interview about her new Netflix series, Grace and Frankie, "Nope, never going to happen." Kaufman's not squashing your hopes and dreams without reason. Kaufman said that show was about a time in your life when your friends are your family. Once you begin to have a family of your own, that is no longer the case, and your priorities shift. So the show is over. Besides, Kaufman added, as much as people might want to see Rachel, Joey, Chandler, Monica, Phoebe, and Ross together again, there's no guarantee the reboot will live up to their fond memories. She also added, it's much better that people want it than that they get it and don't like it. The fear is, well, it'll never be what it was. So while Kaufman stands by her and co-creator David Crane's decision to leave Friends off the remake list, fans can still binge watch the series on Netflix, where Kaufman's new comedy, Grace and Frankie, premieres on May 8th. And finally, advance sales for Avengers: The Age of Ultron are equal to those of all the other Marvel studio movies combined, online ticket brokers Fandango reported Tuesday. So we can figure it will take in around $1 billion, the combined total of the opening hauls of the 10 previous Disney Marvel releases, when it opens in a saturated level 4,247 theaters in North America on Friday. Fandango knows that and took pains to qualify the stratospheric sales figures, pointing it to its growth and the rise in popularity of advanced ticketing as reasons for the huge number. But when legitimate data becomes this outsized, it can be extrapolated beyond the outer reaches of reality, and Age of Ultron is generating a lot of that. Hollywood's hyperbolic calculations are understandable, however, because Age of Ultron has taken us into uncharted box office territory. There are no comps with the exception of The Avengers, the original superhero blockbuster mashup from 2012. Disney's head of distribution, Dave Hollis, said, we're operating in a space where reality-precise predictions are an impossibility, but that hasn't stopped us from trying. Jamie Burgeri, as the vice president of analytics and network insight, said in an interview with Motley Fool, this movie will be one of the biggest movies ever. The first opened at $207 million, and we expect this one to be even bigger and open near $240 million. He based his projection on the online buzz surrounding Age of Ultron. The social media mentions for its trailers are more than double those of The Avengers, Dark Knight Rises, or any other superhero movie. As of Monday, it had 13.6 million Facebook likes compared to the 1.3 million that Avengers had 4 days before its opening. Online sales are through the roof at movietickets.com as well, with Age of Ultron's tickets sold quadrupling those of The Avengers. Traditional tracking services have it debuting between $195 million to $200 million. No film has ever tracked that high, and The Avengers was at $160 million just before it debuted. Whatever the matters isn't clear, but the critics are largely sold. With 96 reviews in, Ultron is at a 74% positive on Rotten Tomatoes, not quite as good as 92 of The Avengers. That and a crowded weekend sports schedule with the Kentucky Derby and the big boxing match between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao Saturday night are the only negative factors that we can find. Hollis recalls, but there is a big pay-per-view fight when The Avengers open. One can ask for more momentum that was provided by last week's $201 million overseas opening, with a whopping 44% better than The Avengers did in the same markets. But if one applies the growth percentage for the original domestic debut, doesn't Ultron open at around $300 million? But it does, but Ultron, which added another $19 million from abroad on Monday, certainly won't do that much. Senior analyst Jeff Brock said a couple of months out, I don't think there was that much growth left. But Marvel has defied expectations, blowing the roof off them. Actually, every chance it had, I'd say up to $250 million is definitely possible, as crazy as that seems. And that is your entertainment report for Wednesday, April 29, 2015. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello, that's RYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com and search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Have a great day, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.